In just the last few minutes, we have learned the U.S. Embassy in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, has been hit by Iranian drones. According to U.S. officials, the embassy was basically empty given the overnight hours, and there are no reports of injuries right now, but the threat is ongoing.
The State Department also issued an alert advising Americans in Saudi Arabia to shelter in place immediately. This is the second U.S. embassy to sustain damage in an Iranian drone strike following Kuwait on Monday.
Today, President Trump spoke about his decision to strike Iran by saying the U.S. was, quote, nearly under threat, suggesting Iran was working on missiles capable of hitting the U.S.
The president is adamant this is not an endless war like the ones he's campaigned against, but has not specified what his goals are before pulling troops out of the region.
We do have team coverage tonight, but we want to start with ABC's Christian Cordero.
In his first public appearance since the massive military operation in Iran, today President Trump shared the threat he saw in deciding to strike and kill much of the Iranian regime's leadership.
The regime already had missiles capable of hitting Europe and our bases, both local and overseas, and would soon have had missiles capable of reaching our beautiful America.
Earlier this year, the Defense Intelligence Agency determined Iran was working to develop missiles capable of reaching the U.S. within 9 years. Regarding an imminent threat, sources tell ABC News Trump administration officials told congressional staff there was no known plan from Iran to launch a preemptive strike against the U.S. Still, the Pentagon says Trump gave the okay for the operation Friday afternoon.
It was the right decision and an important decision for the safety and security of the world.
Democrats and some Republicans are now slamming the administration for going around Congress.
There was simply no basis to go in with this massive military campaign with the goal of regime change. And the concern here is that we have unleashed factors in the region now that we cannot control.
Trump has not specified how long the operation will continue or what the administration's ultimate goal is.
We projected 4 to 5 weeks, but we have capability to go far longer than that.
The Iranian regime today said it's prepared for a long war with the U.S. An Iranian aid group says hundreds of people have so far been killed in the strikes. President Trump today paid respects to the American lives lost, offering a grim warning that there may be more. 3 American F-15 fighter jets were also downed. The Pentagon says they were mistakenly shot by Kuwait, a U.S. ally. All 6 crew members were able to parachute out and are safe. Christian Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
And as the conflict continues in the Middle East, ABC 10's Nazi Javid is live in Sacramento. You hear the horns blaring there. Protesters have taken to the streets to oppose the fighting in Iran.
So, Nazi, you've been out there monitoring this very dynamic situation. Tell us what you're hearing from demonstrators right now.
Yeah, very difficult to hear you, Chris, Laura, but there is a large demonstration out here. We're at 16th and Broadway here in Sacramento. Many people are out here raising their voices opposing this conflict in Iran. I'll step out of the way so you can get a better look at what's happening here. But the people here say they disapprove of U.S. military action in Iran, and according to new polling, a majority of people believe long-term conflict is going to be likely. A new CNN poll conducted by research firm SSRS shows nearly 6 in 10 people say they oppose the decision to strike Iran, and more than half believe the conflict will drag on for an extended period of time. It also shows many questioning the president's handling of the situation, with 60% believing the U.S. doesn't have a clear plan. Most people polled also believe the president should seek congressional approval before any further action, and just 12% say they support sending U.S. ground troops into Iran. But meanwhile, President Trump says the strikes are necessary to prevent Iran from developing nuclear weapons and to protect U.S. national security. But it comes as many Iranian Americans have also rallied in support of the strike, saying they want Iran's Islamic Republic government removed from power. So a lot of differing opinions on this, and here's what some people here had to say.
I think that the celebrations that they're showing are not accurate, and that U.S. military involvement, and this is from somebody that actually served in the military, is not appropriate at this time.
Trump is invading yet another country without permission from Congress or from the people. It's illegal and it should not be happening.
And the demonstration is organized by the Party for Socialism and Liberation. It's part of the AnswerCoalition.org. It's a group holding nationwide anti-war protests happening in several cities today across the country. But back out here live, President Trump says that this conflict could last about 4 to 5 weeks. He says he is prepared to go longer if necessary. Live in Sacramento, Nazi Javid, ABC 10.
Yeah, very active and emotional scene. Nazi, keep us posted as you learn more. Thank you for the update.
Well, tonight, drivers are preparing to pay more at the pump because of the growing conflict in Iran. Experts say oil prices have already increased, and this could be just the beginning if the conflict continues to escalate. ABC 10's Roxanne Elias has more.
Drivers raced to the pumps on Monday before gas prices are set to rise.
For a while there, they were going down noticeably, and now they're noticeably creeping back up. I think that has something to do with what's going on in the world currently.
And according to the Associated Press, U.S. oil traded 7.6% higher at $72.12 per barrel, while International Standard Brent was up 8.6% at $79.11 per barrel. Political analyst Steve Swat says the impact is being felt at the pump following the U.S.-Israeli war with Iran.
Well, economically, you're going to see the price of gasoline rising, and already some experts are saying expect it to go up at least 30 cents a gallon in the near future. And so that's another thing that will play on the public's mind here domestically.
Maureen Dilly says she has to fill up every 4 to 5 days.
I have 5 children, and so I drive a lot. I average about 26,000 miles a year. And then because I was driving about 240 miles a day, an electric vehicle wasn't something that was feasible, so I stuck with this, and I use a lot of gas.
A Gas Buddy petroleum analyst says the increase will be noticeable, but how much it'll increase will play out over the next coming weeks based on new developments.
This is not going to be an overnight massive spike, but it will be noticeable to most motorists. But again, to put this in comparison to Russia, this is not going to be nearly what we saw back in 2022 when not only Russia invaded Ukraine, but when we saw COVID relief as well.
Families now feeling like they have no choice but to budget for gas.
In my personal opinion, it's unnecessarily being thrown upon us, I guess, to say. It's just politics, and consumers are paying the price for that, and it's unfortunate.
SWAT asks the question if people will see this war as worth it.
So I think the longer this goes on, the more you have perhaps retaliation against this, our country, one way or another. You have oil prices going up. I think support for this would probably erode.
In Sacramento, Roxanne Elias, ABC 10.
And we know many families say they don't have the option of staying at home and holding off on filling up at gas stations. So for now, they're looking at trying to find more affordable options.